do that.
Don't try to apprehend him.
All right, we are back. So, welcome to the back to the channel. It's been a few days, but nothing was really happening since we were last live. So, there was any real reason for me to come on. So, yeah, price is making a move back up. So let's dig into it and see what's going on, what possible trades there are, and yeah, from the thumbnail you'd say, why do I think the bottom could be in? And yeah, so let's see, why do I think that is the case? So let's get to the real reason that I think the bottom is in, and then we'll have a look at some more price action. So based on the last time that we looked at this particular trend line here, and we were looking at how price behaves when we came below it, and once we get a move back above the trend line, price pump significantly. So this is the beginning here. We came below, we had a really big pump, and then we came back down, and then at this point here as well, we came below, we hung out for a little while, and we basically faked out everyone into think we're going to come lower, and then pumped massively to the upside. We did the same thing last year around this time, which is September of 2024. Came down, faked out a bunch of people who were thinking we are going to go to zero and we had a massive pump. We did that in April of this year when we came down to around $75,000 for a big pump up. And if we look, we are currently doing the same thing. So today's candle is going to close in 1 hour and 57 minutes, so about 2 hours from now. And if price is to close above this trend line, this could be potentially very bullish for BTC. We could potentially see 130,000. Basically, I would expect for price to come up and take out $124,550. Right? That is what I would expect for price to do. Given that we reclaimed the trend line. Right? So it was just a fake out for a reclaim and then a push forward. Right? All the weak hands, they would have sold here. All the big wheels, smart money would have bought into the selling just like they did here. They would have bought retail sellers, fill their long positions, then pump price all the way up. Same thing at these lows. So I would expect that price would do something similar. Is it 100% guaranteed? No, it is not. But with trading, you just need to be prepared for the trades as they come, and you take the trades for what you see them to be. So let's have a look at what happened when we came down here over this weekend. So we broke the trend line, and we were trying to recover it, which we were unable to do. So we came down, we came back up for a retest, and then we started to push lower. So we can look at this, given that this is the demand zone that we are looking at. Let me just do something here. Right, so this is our area of demand. We were looking for price to come down to this zone for a bounce, and we did get that, but however we came up to this area where we shorted and we came down, we took some profits, and when it is we came up here on Friday, I added to the short trade. I didn't take any more profits because my target was this demand zone at 106. However, we were unable to hit that. So yeah, I didn't actually make any more money on that trade. Price came up yesterday and stopped me out because my entry was somewhere here, and it came up actually today. No, not today. I added some more and price came up and stopped me out, so I'm no longer in the short trade. I am actually looking for more shorts. So this short trade that was given, you would have been able to take it. That is the short trade right there. Right, so you would have been able to take that trade, come up into this area, far move down. So that trade is done, and that was the trade that I took. So let's get rid of this. And the long, we were looking for a long within this zone. Basically was a SFP of the lows, and we did more than SFP, so there was no confirmation when price came down here. But you would have been watching this area and the structure, and once you follow along, you would have been able to take a trade. So I got into a long from here, and let's get into what is the long I actually got into. So basically what it is I can see was a model 1 accumulation right there. No, sorry, not there. Right here is where I saw the model 1. So this was the model 1 accumulation that I was looking at. I saw this form on Monday. However, I was nowhere in my computer, So I was unable to get in on this SFP. So I would have gotten in here. However, I set an alert on my phone. It did not go off, but regardless, um, it's all good. I ended up taking a short when it is we came up to this area. Actually, it was only 2 hour time frame. Yes, right there. So I got into a short when price came up to this zone and we came down. I took some profits and I let the rest ride. So it was a trade that was basically break even, very small profit. Because I was expecting lower. My actual TP was at this zone here. That didn't happen. All well and good. And I was unable to look at the charts for the rest of the day, but there was a zone here that price came back down for before pushing higher. So this was your model 1, and then it was essentially followed up by a model 2 accumulation. So I had a model 2 here. So we came up, we took out the highs, and this morning we were very fortunate to get a move back down into the zone of demand, and this is where I took my long, right there. When I saw that, I got my confirmation, I took my long, and this is the trade that I am currently in. So because we reclaimed this trend line, because you can clearly see price trying to break above and it was unable to do so. We already changed market structure on most of the smaller time frames, actually all the smaller time frames, and we changed structure on the medium term time frame. So currently forward structure has been changed, so I am expecting higher prices. We basically had a low, we had a high, we had a lower low SFP for a higher high. So we can't check this because this essentially was a SFP at this low here, but this is where the candle closed much higher. So I would count this as my higher high. So we expect a higher high for a higher low to then essentially make a higher high, and we expect the order the order flow to continue in that bullish trend. So I am currently looking for price to come up and take out this level here at 113,500, and this would be my telltale if it is we are able to push higher. So yeah, if we could close candles above 113, then I expect higher prices to be more plausible than not. So we were prepared for this trade here. I saw this morning, I took it, and that is the long that we currently in. I did take profit when we pushed back up. We had an area here that we created supply and we blow through that completely, and yeah, it was right here. So price came down, took the long, we came up to supply and just blow through it. So TP1, and the trade is now a risk-free trade. I am looking for higher prices. So what we have remaining here, let's see. We have a area of supply right here that I am interested in. So that is why I have my alarm alert set there. So I'm expecting a price move up into this area. Let me get rid of this. This is actually the last low that we made. So let's get rid of him. We don't need him anymore. But yeah, if we could reclaim this, then I expect higher as well. But this is the key zone. So we'd make him a little ticker. Once we could close higher, I expect BTC to push much higher. Now, if you were to trade this, the safest trade, and when I say safe, meaning safe as in not getting stopped out, but it's a pretty huge area for stop loss. but you need to adjust your margin so you would stay within that 1% or 2% or whatever percentage risk you want to put on the trade. You adjust your margin to suit that for the amount of breathing room you need to give this trade if this is a short to confirm. However, you need to be mindful that there is liquidity that was being generated as we came down, and once we start grabbing that liquidity, price could start pushing pretty quickly to the upside. So that's basically a liquidity curve. We have a lot of stop losses to grab, so once it starts happening, it will be a cascading effect, and we can see a huge push to the upside, and it could happen really quickly. So yeah, be careful with the shorts around this area, but this is a potential short. If you do see the trade, you take the trade and you de-risk as soon as you could. That being said, that we reclaim this trend line, and it's a major trend line, so it's valid for me. So it reclaimed it, and we are about to close in about an hour and 45 minutes the next daily candle. So if we could close in, that's pretty much a good thing. So let me see what we have on the 4-hour time frame. We don't have any areas of demand lower. 3-hour nothing, 2-hour nothing, 1 hour is what we came for this morning. Right, so we have something here. Right, and this is the only sort of long that I'm seeing. Well, the only sort of trade I am seeing. So that will be a short trade if we don't visit this area of interest firstly. This is your short, and this will be take profit 1. So if I do take this trade, I'm only taking this trade down to here, TP1, stop the entry. I'll hold the rest if it is we do push lower, but if it is I see price starting to push up through here, then I wouldn't be taking any shorts. I need confirmation to get short anyway. So that is the trade idea for the short. And for the long, let me just push this back because we already mitigated that area interest. And the long trade would be from here. This would essentially be my long idea. So if we happen to come down to this zone before, then take profit would be right there. Let the rest ride, or if you're taking all out, then take all out right there. This is potentially a swing setup. So definitely you could have a big move from this one trade, and yeah, little risk, and once you take profit, well, then no risk on the trade. It's a risk-free trade, a free trade as they call it. Free meaning that you're risking absolutely $0. So that's the only two trade that I'm seeing currently, and the only sort of thing is if we come up to this zone and we get a swing failure of the size, meaning a liquidity grab, and yeah, something like that. Will that be valid? I don't know. You just need to see what happens when price comes to that area and take the trade for what it is. Alright, screenshot them, and yeah, that's it. Only 3 trades. No need to be trading in the middle of all of this. So that's the only trade that I'm seeing currently, and let's move this to live. Right, so that's it really. Let's see what we have going on this indicator. So money flow is looking good. We're back in the green on the 1 hour. 2 hour is still in the red though, so that's something to be mindful of. 4 hour is still in the red, and we kind of topping out on the momentum wave. So definitely look at this area. If I see anything looking weird here in terms of price comes up and we actually looking like we can't push higher, I will be taking the short with confirmation, and I will take some more out of my long trade, and the challenge trade is also back in profit. So we were down for a bit, but we are back in profit. So if I see that we are unable to push higher from the zone, I will be taking full profits here for the challenge trade, with anticipating that this will just be a lower high to then make a lower low. So if that happens, then we'd be looking down to this area for longs if this long doesn't hold. So just need to wait and see. But if we come over to the daily time frame, this is where things get interesting. So daily money flow is starting to curl back up, as well as momentum is starting to curl back up. However, on the daily time frame, we are still bearish, regardless of reclaiming the trend line. So unless we could take out the high, then the market structure on daily is bearish. But if you go to even higher time frame, the structure on the higher time frame is bullish. So unless we come down and we actually take out this low and start closing weekly candles below 107,300, weekly is bullish, and also your monthly is bullish. So yeah, the higher time frames will precede the medium and lower time frames. So weekly is bullish, and then your monthly is still bullish. So no need to panic just yet. Yeah, 107. Yeah, if that starts to break down, then you could see maybe you start losing like the monthly, and then we actually in a bear market after that. But for now, only the daily time frame is bearish. So once we could change daily market structure back bullishly, and in order for us to do that, we would need to reclaim 124,600. So we need to go and close above the all-time high and continue higher. That is how we reclaim bullish market structure. So now, yeah, 4 hour currently is bullish. We change market structure at this low here. So once we continue higher, then I expect more upside, and then the daily hopefully will flip after that. So that's pretty much it with BTC from this zone, and that is your trades that you would be looking at. Right, that's it right here. And usually you could tell if price would take out a level because it has a lot of strength behind it. So once you start pushing up here, based on how fast it's able to push through, that would tell you if it is price would go up or it will stall and then continue to come down. Yeah, so yeah, be careful in this zone. Potential short, long, and short. Right, so that's it for the update on BTC. Once we break here, we will look higher and see what other trades there are, but currently there's only 3 trades available here, unless we come back down to these lows, which is possible. That could happen. We just need to wait and see what happens. So that is that. And let's have a look now at the challenge account. So let's go to, well, currently we are up 44% on this trade. And if we look at our total balance here, we are at $1.04. So we are in the green. However, we were not in the green a few days ago. So let's look at what happened. Remember, trading is not going to be one road straight up to, it's not a get rich quick thing. You need to put in time and you need to have patience in order to make it in this game. So let's go back from the start. So basically at this point here, this was the last trade I updated you on, and we were back at where we started, which was $1. And since then, we took a few trades. We made 1 cent, 1 cent, and then we lost 3 cents, 6 cents. And then we had some wins, but it wasn't able to cover the losses. So we lost 1, lost 2, lost 1, and then we made. So we won't be able to cover the losses that we made here, but we made some significant ground. And then we move up, and then we made some more losses. But because we were using good risk management, we were able to not blow the account. And it's easy for you to blow the account if you're not using good risk management. Someone was asking me why it is I didn't use more leverage. And the reason for that is, once it is you're using are we still live? I'm seeing some stuff just loading. Are we still live? Yes, we are still live. Okay, good. Right. So, yeah, once you're using good risk management and your leverage is not overly high, you should be fine. To me, 20x is like the sweet spot. And if you're 100% certain about a trade, then maybe 50x. But using 50x right through will get you wrecked. And I'm telling you that from experience. So you want to use 20x or less, and you'll be fine. If you have experience and you're taking these trades, you could risk a little more for your stop loss, but ideally you don't want to. And the reason for that is that you want to preserve the account. So you're trying to preserve the funds that you have. That is the first line, and the first mission with a small account is to preserve it. And then once you could preserve it, then you could move on to growing it. So yeah, small bites. There's a saying, eat little and live long. That's what you need to do when it is you're trading. Because if you try to buy big and you lose big, well, then you have no money to trade with, and you're going to need to start all over. So that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, let's see where we are. So we ate through some of the funds with the losses, and we gained back. We were targeting a bit lower on some of these short trades, and I de-risked the trade, so some of them you're going to see point like 1 cent, and that was the least amount I was looking to get on the trade. If the take profit were to be hit, the account would have been up significantly, but our actual take profits on these were not hit. So that is why we are still at the starting balance. But once we are not below the starting balance, like if we are like sub 50, then we can't even trade with that, because the lowest amount of money we could use to trade is 55 cents. So if we go below 55 cents, we can trade with this. So having just $1 is the minimum that you need to trade 20x leverage. So I'm holding on to this. You're probably asking why it is we can't close this out for a nice decent win. Yes, we could, but why should we close it out? There's no reason to close it out just yet, because price hasn't come up to our area of interest, and we are not seeing anything telling us that we are about to go down. But if it is we come up to here and I'm seeing some bearish signs, then I would close this for a nice win, and then we'll look for a new trade. But if it is we start pushing up and this area supply is unable to push price down, meaning more buyers than sellers, then I just hold on to this trade for a much even bigger win, because we are already risk free on this trade. So maybe we come up a bit higher before we go down. So just a little bit of patience, and we could probably take this to maybe $2-3 with this one trade. It's possible. So that is the update on this challenge account, and hopefully things go smooth and we could get to that $10 soon. BTC just needs to do something quickly and I go up or down. But yeah, it was a lot of choppy price action within this zone here, and we got chopped up quite a bit, but we are in the green on the account, so that is the main thing. So with that being said, guys, that is pretty much all I have for today, and these are the only trades that you should be interested in. 1, 2, 3. There is nothing else to trade in between here, and if you're trading in between here and you're losing money, well, you shouldn't even be trading in the first place. So yeah, that's it, and remember to trade safe, trade what you see, not what you feel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.